Hello dear viewers, today we have a topic about word structure or word formation. I think it will be very interesting for you. First of all, I want to speak about word. The word is the basic unit which relates the grammar of a language to its vocabulary. Words have internal structure which indicates their grammatical identity and their lexical identity, that the words unhappiness is a noun with negative meaning. Grammar is generally divided into the study of the structure of the sentences, which is called syntax, and the study of the internal structure of words, which is called morphology. Words are composed of morphemes. A morpheme is the smallest unit of meaning. Some words consist of just one morpheme. Some words consist of several. Now I will give some words which have only one morpheme. For example, the word dog had only one morpheme, and here is no prefixes or no suffixes. Or the word homesick, here is given two morphemes, home and sick. Or homesickness, here is given two morphemes and one suffix. Here is home a word, sick a word, and ness is suffix. Affixes. Some of the morphemes are attached to the beginning or the end of the word. These are affixes. Affixes attached to the beginning of the words are prefixes. Those attached to the end of the words are suffixes. In functional morphemes, some of the affixes express grammatical relations. For example, the on dogs indicates, the s on dogs indicates. Here is s meaning plural and give the word meaning plural meaning. These are inflectional morphemes, and we have derivational morphemes also. Some of the affixes express lexical relations by forming new or different words when attached to the basic words. For example, able indicates that something is possible. Mid indicates the middle of something. There are derivational morphemes. Allomorphs. Some morphemes have a variation in form even though they are many in the same. For example, impenetrable, inedible, or irregular, all meaning not able, and able both meaning can be done. These variations are known as allomorphs. Allomorphs are also seen in inflections. For example, in noun plurals, books, glasses, and verbs endings, themes, watches, compounds. Whole words may combine with each other. For example, home and thick. Such combinations are called compounds. Words, theme, and base, which is the form of a word to which prefixes and suffixes attach, is called the stem. A simple word of one morpheme consists of a stem only. Words consisting of stem plus prefixes and suffixes are complex words. Example of words showing stems and affixes: words stem prefixes or suffixes. For example, for the word snow, we add a suffix y and we can make a new word like a snowy. Or reduce or produce. For the word deuce, we add a prefix re or pro and make a new word. And there are a lot of examples for prefixes or suffixes. The stem may not necessarily be whole independent word, as can be seen in the table. Snow and trees are free stems. They can stand alone. The forms deuce and capture bound stems. They can be only used in combination with prefixes or suffixes. The stem on its own may be restricted to certain combinations. In example 5 in the table, the prefix re can only attach to capture. For example, we cannot say recaptive or recapture. Capture is called the base. A base may already include an affix. In the following word, the base is in bold. For example, grammatically or ungrammatical. Inflectional morphemes attach to whole lexemes. For example, disagreed. Grammarians have often disagreed on this point. Poetry defamiliarizes the everyday. We never send postcards. Word structure and word formation. Cambridge grammar of English, inflection, morphology of various kinds of central to many of the chapters in this book. This chapter describes the main types of inflection but deals mainly with lexical morphology in the 4 main word classes: noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. Grammatically, morphology is dealt with under areas such as tense, aspect, person, voice, and number in other chapters. English doesn't make use of word structure to express grammatical meanings, and unlike other languages, the inflection of words is limited. Inflection in English are realized by suffixes in the table below. For example, noun plurals, for example, cars or buses. A third person singular present tense, for example, he works or it rains. Past tense ed, for example, we walked, I smoked. Ing form of progressive aspect, she is running, we are laughing, and ed form as ed participle, they have landed, we has beaten, and comparative forms er or est, for example, he is smaller, I am the smallest, or negative both inflections, for example, I can't, they won't. Inflection also sometimes occurs through internal vowel or consonant change. Examples of inflection through vowel or consonant change: goose or geese. Here is goose is a singular form, geese is plural form, or past tense, for example, hang, hung, or be, was, were, or do, did. Or comparative, far, further. Sometimes an inflected form is identical to its non-inflected form. For example, we are singular and plural have the same form. This is called syncretism. For example, for this word is deer or fish. We can use these words in singular form, the same words in singular or plural forms. Sometimes an alternative word is used a particular inflectional meaning, a process known as suppletion. Examples of suppletion: be, am, are is present tense, go, went past tense, and inflections don't change the meaning of a word. For example, walk and walked have the same lexical meanings, but they have the same lexemes too. Responsible or irresponsible have different meanings. They are different lexemes. Present-day English has 4 main processes of word formation: prefixation, suffixation, conversion, and compounding. Prefixation involves adding a prefix to a base or stem. For example, postgraduate, here is the prefix is post added to the word graduate. Or pre-Europe, or untidy, unhappiness, unusual, and so on. Suffixation involves adding a suffix to a base or stem, for example, egoism, kingdom, and freedom. In the word freedom is free is bound or stem, dem is a suffix. or conversion. Conversion involves the change of a word from one word class to another. For example, the verbs to screen, to fax are formed from the noun screen and fax. The verb to narrow is formed from the adjective narrow. The noun love from the verb to love. For example, the film is an absolute must for all lovers of Westerners. Here is the word lovers is a noun in plural form. Or can we microwave it? Here is the word microwave is now from the noun. Verb from noun. Or internet downloads can be expensive, or they decided that they had to broaden his appeal. Here is verb from adjective, and so on. Examples of change in word class through vowel change to splashing. For example, hot, heat. Here is the word as hot is adjective, heat is a noun, or transitive intransitive verb to transitive verb. For example, here rise is intransitive verb. It can be changed arise. It is a transitive verb. Some words can change class by a shift in stress from one syllable to another. The stress is on the first syllable when the word is a noun, and on the second syllable when the word is a verb. For example, record noun with stress on the first syllable and becomes record verb with stress on the second syllable. Compounding involves linking together two or more bases to create a new word. Normally, the first item identifies a key feature of the second word. For example, the two bases head and ache can combine to form the compound word headache, or helpline, or house proud, or long running, or postcard. In addition to the main processes, English allows words to be formed by abbreviation, which includes clipping, acronyms, and blendings, or backformation. Prefixes. The main prefixes used in English: prefix meaning examples, for example, a in a particular way or condition, for example, awake or asleep, or without, not different, atypical, amoral, or pronounced anti or opposite to antibiotic or anti-nuclear, and so on. Prefixes have a semantic role. Suffixes also have a semantic role, but they additionally change the class of a word. Suffix by word class together with an indication of the most common types of class change were appropriate. Suffix which form noun suffix examples, for example, age, baggage, or mileage, or al, burial, or ant, assistant, or student, and so on. Or dumb, wisdom, freedom, or stardom, or er, or oor. Here is given some examples: singer, or indicator, or hood, childhood, motherhood, and so on. Suffix which form adjective suffix examples: able, for example, readable, or workable, or bearded, long-sighted, or short-tailed, or ish is foolish, Danish, or Polish, and so on. Less, childless, priceless, or suffix which form verbs suffix examples are a to dominate, or en harden, or spelling for s and the spelling suffix which form adverb suffix. Examples: ly, for example, slowly or aggressively. Very occasionally, non-suffixed and suffix form may be used more or less synonymously. Word structure and word formation change of subclass. Occasionally, a suffix may change a word to a subclass of the same word class. For example, gun and gunner are both nouns, but one is innominate, the other anominate. Compare also cook, a person, cooker, a thing, or mathematics is a thing, or mathematician is a person, or ish and y in formal contexts. For example, the ish suffix is used widely in informal spoken English to soften or hedge numbers and quantities when reference is not necessary or is inappropriate. So we are meeting at 11. Well, 11ish. I think she is 30ish, but she looks a lot younger. Or ish may occasionally be used on its own in informal conversation. It functions to make something deliberately and is not used only to refer to numbers or quantities. For example, did you say you will be here at 5? Well, ish, it depends on the traffic. Are you hungry? Shh. What about you? Also, ish is most commonly used with numbers, dates, times, and quantities. It's a productive suffix, and speakers creatively attach it to wide range of words from different word classes. Through not as frequent as ish or the y suffix function in similar ways in formal contexts. It's especially used with colors, blues, or is trying to decide what to wear. But I mean, I love the collar and the short turn-up sleeves. You may see them in your one pink, deep pink, and this beautiful bluey and color which I can't wear. If they had white, I might have tried. Well, it still would have stuck out. It has a sort of woody taste, doesn't it? Or what is the plasticky thing sticking out there? Well, it's a kind of orangey red, isn't it? Yeah. Or is it a reddy orange? It's not a reddy orange or orangey red or reddish. Note also the changes in spelling which are sometimes necessary with this suffix. For example, a red, reddish, or reddy, and so on. Conversion involves changing a word from one word class to another, but without adding any affix. For example, when the adjective solid is turned into the verb solidify, the suffix I and y is added. When the adjective dry is turned into the verb to dry, or when the noun fax is turned into the verb to fax, or no affix is added, and the process is one of conversation. The most example involve the conversion of verbs into nouns or nouns into verbs. The main types of conversion are verbs converted into nouns. For example, cure, drink, dapt, laugh, smoke, stop, walk, or work. Nouns converted into verbs. For example, to bottle, to elbow, to amail, to glue, to water, or to sky, or to ship, and so on. Adjectives converted into verbs: to better, to calm, to clean, to dry, to empty, and so on. For example, nouns converted into adjectives: junk food, a rubbish explanation. Or conversion is a process which continues to produce new forms constantly. For example, conversion has most recently produced forms such as to mail, to unpack, to text, download. Less commonly, other word classes are involved in conversion. That kind of remark only ups the stress for everyone. Verbs from preposition, seeing that play is an absolute must. Noun from modal verb, that's a very big if. Noun from conjunction, You get both ups and downs. Nouns from prepositions. The conversion of a subclass of proper noun to common noun is also possible. Has anybody seen my Glassworthy copy of a book by Galsworthy? He has 2 Ferraris, a car manufactured by Ferrari. Whole phrases may also be converted most commonly into adjective compounds. I really fancy one of those 4-wheel drive cars. Glossary for any unfamiliar terms, word structure and word formation. Why don't you have a word with a good for nothing brother of his? It was a fly on the wall. Compounds are lexemes formed from more than one basis. Compounds are found in all word classes. For example, nouns, pop group, car park, or adjectives, heartbreaking, or homesick, verbs, babysit or dry clean, adverbs, good or nevertheless, pronouns, anyone, everything, nobody, or numerals, 47, 2/3, prepositions, into, or conjunctions, also, whenever, wherever, or compounds which have entered the language more recently tend to be nouns, adjectives, or verbs. Downsize and so on, or answer phone. Compounds have a structure similar to the basic phrase classes such as noun or verb phrases. The final element may be seen as the head, which is modified or complemented. Daydream, modifier type, or dream during the day, or guilt reading, complement type, reading with guilt. Some compounds involve identical or near identical or bases. Such compounds are called reduplicative and are often very informal in usage or area used talk with by children. For example, by wow or clever clever, easy peasy, goody goody, or lovely dovey, and TikTok, and so on. Compound nouns involve a range of different grammatical relationships. The pre-head items is typically a noun, verb, or a word derived from a verb or an adjective. Noun or verb phrase form, answer phone, or verb ing form, chewing gum, or adjective happy hour. There is a wide range of possible semantic relationships between a pre-head item and the head. These include subject plus verb, for example, headache, or a rainfall, verb plus subject, warning sign, or verb plus object, know all, who thinks they know all, killjoy, or someone who spoils the enjoyment of others, or object plus verb, carpet shampoo, or hair dryer, or predicative complement plus subject, for example, junk food, or girlfriend. Prepositional complement, for example, a raincoat, or complement plus noun, chair, a leg, or fingerprint. Most compound adjectives end in an adjective or in ing or ed adjective form, for example, heartbreaking, or short-sighted, or whitewashed. The main relationships between the parts of compound adjectives are as follows: object plus ing or ed, English speaking, or heartbroken, and or, for example, verb complement plus ing or ed for far-reaching or homemade, or subject plus predicative complement, for example, top-heavy or comparative, paper-thin, or adjective plus complement, fat-free, or adjective plus adjective, royal blue, light green, bittersweet. Note also that some adjectives compounds are formed by adding an ad inflection to an existing adjective plus noun, for example, right angled, or so on. They may be derived by conversion from another word classes, an already existing noun compound, for example, to daydream, to blackmail, or so on. They may also be derived by a process of a back formation by the removal of a suffix, for example, shoplift or babysit, and so on. Examples include chain smoke, dry clean, housekeep, sightsee, and spring clean. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.